Longview Unplugged's interview with local artist Madison Romero.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for coming. All right, so Madison is a local Longview musician, and we just want you to tell us a little bit about you. So tell us about your music and tell us about when you got started.
I started playing when I was 15. My aunt actually taught me what she could in about a week. And from there, I just kind of online. I haven't been to any classes, but kind of online, just taught myself. I started, first time I played live or at a bar, I think I was 16, 17.
Wow.
My dad took me, I think Donnie might have been playing it. It was also my first time playing electric guitar. I get in and they hand me this electric. I'd never picked up an electric. I was playing on a nylon string at the time. And yeah.
That's super cool. So where was the first place? So you said the first time you played was when you were 16. Where was that at?
I want to say it was Sheila's, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I remember, you just know it was somewhere local though, right?
Right, yes, it was in Longview. I want to say it was Sheila's.
Sweet.
But it wasn't, I think my dad knew the bartender or something.
Yeah. So did you always know that, obviously you're a very good singer, so before that you started picking up the guitar and playing, did you have like a passion for music and singing?
Yes, I've always loved music my whole life, and I've had thankfully, a very good influence through my family. But once I started playing, it was kind of hard. I can remember when I was younger, practicing every day after school. My sister was getting mad. She didn't want to hear nothing I was doing.
Yeah.
But I just stuck with it, and I've always loved playing. I used to play with my dad a lot starting out.
Okay. Your dad plays too?
No, he doesn't play. He's actually more on percussion.
Okay.
But he doesn't. He used to when he was younger, I guess, play live, but not anymore.
Like
Yeah, I've always
That's cool.
sort of, but I've always loved music, and I've always kind of had an ear for it. But
all right, so you told us that you started, like your aunt kind of like got you involved.
Right.
So was it your aunt that inspired you to be a musician, or was it somebody else that inspired you to be a musician?
I don't know if it was anybody that actually inspired me to be a musician. I think it was just the music itself and listening and wanting, that's when I'm in it, it's like, it feels right. That's what I want,
It's just natural to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And people ask me what genre I play. I cover a bunch of stuff. I've got a few originals, and they ask me what genre, what kind of music do you play? The kind that feels good is what I always say.
Yeah, I like that.
And if it don't feel good, it ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just played a cover of Britney Spears, which that was amazing. So I love Britney Spears. Like, I'm a huge Britney fan. And it was so cool, like just hearing like your rendition and how did you come up with that cover, or was that in like...
The first time I've heard that song covered, and it was, I think, X Factor or something. Yeah. And it was this couple, I think Alex and Sierra.
Okay.
So that was the first time I heard it covered, but if I ever cover a song, I always try to change it and make my own.
Right. I love it. I think you did a kick-ass job.
Thank you.
What all instruments do you play? Do you play any other instruments other than guitar?
I can mess around pretty good on a cajon. I get up, yes, and I love it. I was told, I've been up there.
Mess around pretty good.
No. Like, well, you need to get yourself one of those. I know percussion is pretty. I like it, and I like. It was one I actually hear. I got off there. Cajon's in your heart. You need to practice that more. But no, I've messed around on.
Do you have cajon?
Yeah, I do. It's my dad's, but.
I should have told her to bring that.
I could have, but I'm wanting to start messing around on bass. I've messed around with the bass a lot, but I feel like I can lick a lot jazzy. I feel like
I could see you
lick
being
around
a
on
bass
a
girl.
bass.
I could see you up there funking it out. So do you write your own music?
I do. I have quite a few songs that I've written myself. I get up there and start playing them, and I try not to get in my head too much about it. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
But
definitely very easy to do.
But I do. The first song I wrote, I think, was in 2015. was my first song. That was the name of it was The Deep, and I don't really sing that one anymore. I guess
that's cool. That makes me think of, isn't there what's it called? The Boys. There's a superhero on there called The Deep.
Well,
that's
it was a breakup song. I've got 2 of those, and I try not to play those. I try not to play my breakup songs.
You don't want to play the sad stuff.
Right.
Or the stuff that brings you back to like those traumatic experiences of the reason why there are exes. So we don't talk about those. So you started performing, your first performance was at Sheila's. So what other live local venues have you performed at?
I've played here quite a lot at Memphis. I actually started coming here when I was 18 with my dad. You know, it's legal in Texas if your parent brings you. So me and my dad started coming here.
Parents are definitely some free-spirited people. I'm digging it.
Most of the time. But I played here, Players, The Levee, and that's in Longview. I played at The Forge in Ben Wheeler. What's the name of it? Wind Down.
Wind Down, that's cool.
That's in Canton.
Oh, okay.
Are we staying local?
You tell me wherever you went, wherever you've gone, you tell us.
I can't. Oh heck!
Like how far have you traveled? Yes, absolutely.
Come with you.
She's gonna come with you. Yes, absolutely.
I haven't even traveled that far from Texas. I've been wanting to get. No offense, Longview Unplugged, but I've been wanting to get out of this town my whole life.
Yeah, I think we all have. So.
We're still here.
Right?
Right. But I played in Eustis. Oh, I played in Colorado once, but.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Well, I was just there for a friend of mine's birthday, but anyways.
That's fun. Yeah, so you said no offense, Longview Unplugged.
But I've been trying to escape this town for a while now.
I mean, like, and that's kind of like the criticism of like why we like brought this here though, is because we do realize that a lot of people feel like the reason why they want to escape is because there's just not people, or we can find like that sanctuary, that community. And so we're trying to create that. Like that's kind of the whole purpose, is to kind of like create like that place where we can all feel like some sort of sanity, you know what I mean? So nobody's taking any offense whatsoever. So we kind of want to talk about, obviously you are a woman. I want to say obviously, but it's 2021, so nothing is obvious anymore. But so you are a woman, and you are a musician, and I want to talk about that because that is the whole premises of this issue, is we're focusing on women, and we're focusing on women artists and musicians. So have you experienced any hardships being a young woman and being a musician in Longview?
Okay,
like, break it down, give us the
There
real.
is only one other musician that I see on the stage with me that's a woman. Her name's Shasta. She's a bass player.
Okay.
Other than that, if I go to jams or if I go anywhere, I don't see, especially not my age, which kind of sucks because I have so many other people tell me you need to start an all-girl band. You need to, and I don't see anybody my age, let alone a woman playing in Longview. Right. I mean, I hate to say it sucks, but it would be cool to have other people
connect,
right.
with other women that you could jam with and stuff. So like, have you experienced any negativity since you've been like from
when I was younger? I guess when I was younger, but it was all in my head.
Like, kind of elaborate on that.
Like as if in my head feeling like they don't want me up there, like as if I wasn't good enough to be up there. Yeah. But then as I got to the point where, okay, I know what I'm doing, and I'm coming here, people are inviting me here, it's not really I guess you got to get out and you're like, okay, we're here to have fun. We're not here to impress nobody. We're here to have fun.
So it was just like a feeling. It wasn't like necessarily something somebody had like said to you directly.
I mean, I've had things said to me, but we're going to leave that alone.
Okay. Right. We won't pry if you don't want to go into that. So tell me about some positive experiences that you've had.
In Longview? Is that what you're talking about?
Just being a rock star. You just tell me. Tell me the positive experiences that you had. Something that like maybe like resonated with you the most. You don't know, huh?
It's hard. That's a hard question.
It is. It is. Maybe something you haven't even thought about before, you know?
Right.
Because anybody ever said anything to you that made you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. There was one time, and it was actually, I started off here, and I was asked to not get on the stage with the band that was playing. So I'm like, okay, fuck you guys. I'm going across the street. Love this bar, but the band playing. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Right.
And I go across the street, and I think Donnie and White Trash Wannabes was playing, going there. And I've known him for years through my dad.
Yeah.
I walk in, and a friend of mine, Bear, he's like, hey, I just got to tell you, you rock, okay? If anyone ever tries to get you to stop shining, you shine brighter. Don't you stop, you know? And I'm like, you're right. And he actually is the one that bought my lovely Taylor for me. And I mean, and I was playing on a flat back Ovation. The action was way too high. I was struggling on that guitar. He bought that for me, and I just excelled way further. But anyways, and ever since that day, I'm like, he's right. I shouldn't let anyone.
You're like, yeah, I am kick-ass.
Right.
I love that. I feel like that's a really good story. So you were like, I don't know of a story, and then you were like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, actually, I do have one. I love that one. So who are some of like the artists that like maybe they don't necessarily have to be well known, but like who are some like recording artists that like you feel inspired by, or that like you kind of idolize? I know idolize is kind of a tricky term, but I know like earlier we were goofing off, and you were like, I love Tosh Sultana, and I was like, shut up. She's right so now. Beautiful. I was like, She's so beautiful. Her. I know. So I know you love Tosh Sultana, which like now we're soul sisters because of that. But tell me who else that you inspire. Well,
I'll start with more closer to home. David Lindley. Okay. He's a musician, and he's been playing more. I don't even know how to explain him. I've known him my whole life. Well, he's known me since before I was born, you know?
Okay.
And I can remember being young and watching him play, just being enamored of how he played. I used to want to name my first daughter Lindley after his last name.
Yeah.
And he taught me some licks, and it was a blues lick. And he's like, practice this every time when you start. And I used to have this old school track phone that had a recording of him covering Shimmer by Fuel. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I'd listen to it all the time. But I
love
mean,
that song.
Me too.
It's a good song.
But I guess musicians that inspire me.
Yeah.
That one's hard.
What about like name some like female musicians?
I've always been I've been called Janice by a bunch of people.
You're very Janice Joplin.
And I'll take her up. It's hard to play and sing her songs at the same time, but I can do a pretty mean Bobby McGee.
Oh man, gotta get that one.
Ruh-roh.
She said ruh-roh.
I love her. Alabama Shakes. Brittany. Oh, she hits my soul. I used to do Amy Winehouse on karaoke a lot.
Okay.
I
can see you kicking ass at some Amy Winehouse.
I do dig some Amy Winehouse. Back to Black's my favorite. Ask me another hard question.
So, anytime like that you've been performing, have you ever had to deal with like people like heckling you or like bothering you while you're performing? If so, like, how did you handle that? How did that like affect you?
It only matters if you let it. Like if you let people bother you, that's the only time it does. If you can stay in your zone and you're like, this is what I'm doing, nothing else fucking matters.
Right.
If you can stick with what you're doing, and no one else should matter.
Absolutely,
but I'm sure, yes, there's been times when people have said things, try to get me to whatever, but I've excelled since then and not. I mean, you should surround yourself with people that want to hear you play and care about you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Why would you keep yourself around people that have anything bad to say about you?
I mean,
you wouldn't. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I mean, I'm 31.
I'm trying to think of.
I feel like I've mastered that in my life.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, I guess the worst thing that could happen is if I'm looking out and I'm like, someone, like, that doesn't sound good to me. You can kind of tell by my facial, I'm kind of messed up a little bit. But another thing, I'll go back to David Lindley. If you mess up, don't act like you did, just keep going. No one will notice usually.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I lived my whole life by that philosophy. Like, I know Katie, for a fact, knows that because she often records me and I just bullshit my way through. Literally 95% of the things that I do, I'm like, people are like, wow, you're so good at that. And I'm like, I literally just bullshitted my whole way through that.
My favorite thing to do is just like pick some chords and just mash up songs to them. I do this one thing. Yeah. My mom loves it. I'll just mash up a bunch of Eminem songs to it.
Are you serious?
Yes, I love it. It's one of my favorite.
I love that. You need to do that for us.
I can if you want me to.
So you mentioned David Lindley quite a bit. So I'm guessing that this is somebody that's been very supportive for you, and
yes,
and kind of like somebody that you look up to. Who else has been like supportive? And you can kind of elaborate on that too if you want to.
You know, once I started playing more live, Donnie, he does a lot of jams. I try not to go to him too much now, but I still do because I like playing. But
right.
And once I started playing with him, he always played me a good lead. And Pink Trampoline, the song I played earlier.
Yeah.
See, I wrote that song, but I've never really written it down.
Yeah.
I've always just kind of made it up as I go. He loves that song.
So, like, other than him, who do you feel like is like your support system? Who do you feel like encourages you to be the rock star that you are? You can say yourself.
I mean,
yourself can be, because that's kind of like, I feel like that's the answer for me. Like,
right.
I feel like I'm my biggest fan, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not in like a narcissistic way. Like in a, you know, like, I don't care if anybody else is disappointed in me. Like, you know?
Right. I know. I understand
how
completely.
Do you feel about that?
Maybe it is me, but
yeah.
Like, I'll go back, and I hate to dog on my sister because I love my sister.
How old is your sister?
She's
your older or little sister?
Older.
Okay.
And she, when I was younger, see again, I hate to dog on her, but I'd come home every day after school and practice. She'd be, Madison, shut the fuck up. She didn't want to hear me playing, so I'd go to my dad's room and like practice over and over by myself. And I guess I had to get it out of my mind as I got older that kind of no one wanted to hear me. And it was from my sister, but I love you, Audrey. But
I loved you, Audrey, even though you didn't want her to play.
But she loves me now. She likes to hear me now. I guess I had to have faith in myself really to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And here you are. So, have you had anybody, okay, so I feel like you kind of already answered this question. I feel like your sister has kind of like, I guess throughout your life, kind of been a little bit unsupportive.
I'm sorry.
Maybe that wasn't like, maybe she wasn't like directly unsupportive.
She didn't mean to be.
Right,
we were in school. She was just tired,
malicious.
I guess.
It wasn't malicious. Have you had anybody that was like maliciously unsupportive? Like,
yes, I have.
Like,
yes, I definitely have.
So tell us
and
about that.
Oh, do I have to?
You do.
Okay,
so we can bleep out names. You just tell us.
Okay, cool. I mean, I just don't like to shit talk people.
Oh yeah, you don't have to shit talk people.
No, I ran around with people, and now that I look back on it, I was very unappreciated.
Yeah.
And all I was there to do was help. I loved the whole group. I would go and make sure their sound sounded right, but no one wanted to hear anything from me. And if I tried to add on to it, it was just now I think of it, I'm like, did they really, care about me as a friend? Or was it really? And I'm not the type of person to, I'm sure if they're listening, they know exactly who I'm talking about, but I would never shit talk anybody like that.
Right. I get what you're saying.
But I shouldn't have ever devoted myself all the way to that when I could have been just working on myself and my own music.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Either way.
That could be a little disappointing, Like,
and it doesn't matter. I'm better than that to out somebody.
No, you're good. You're good. We don't want you to feel uncomfortable or say anything that you don't feel comfortable saying. So what venues do you frequent now? So now you're playing, like, how often do you play and where do you play?
I just kind of started having like 3-hour gigs, which is where you kind of start. And most of them have been in Mineola. I haven't had any here. It's hard to get them here because I don't have a full band and it's just me, which I understand that. I've been thinking more, I want to get people behind me. The next place I'm playing is Wind Down again. Well, no, that's wrong. I'm actually playing at a music festival next, Marshmallow Jam in Eustis, which I love playing there. I played there last time.
Marshmallow Jam.
Marshmallow Jam,
Tell
yeah.
me about
Oh my
Marshmallow
goodness.
Jam.
It's a music and art festival.
Okay.
And you go there and you camp, and it's a bunch of, it's a good time.
It's like a little Woodstock.
Yeah.
You go there and you camp.
Perfect.
What kind of, how long is the festival? Is it like 3 days?
2 or 3 days, yeah.
Okay, cool. And is it like a specific type, is there a specific type of aesthetic to it, a vibe, or is it
whatever who you are want to be when you get there.
Yeah.
Just be you when you get, that's it. Just yourself.
That's cool.
There's no, people call it hippie festival. That's what my dad calls it, the hippie festival. But the next one's called Harvest Dance. But Marshmallow Jam is definitely, if you haven't heard of it, check it out because.
All right, we're gonna check out Marshmallow Jam.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you said Harvest Fest. Where is that?
No, Harvest Dance.
Harvest.
That's
Dance.
the name of the next
Okay.
Marshmallow Jam.
Okay.
Eustis.
Okay. Where's you said that several times. Where
It's
is it
over by Canton.
at? Okay. Closer to us or closer to Dallas or south or north? You don't know?
No.
You're I don't know. Somewhere over there. You're just I know it's near
let
you.
me think. That way.
Yeah, somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your goal? What is your plan? So do you want to do this full time? Do you want to become a full-time artist or tell us about your dreams?
I
want to
would
hear about
absolutely love to. And I'm sure as anybody going to aspire their own dream, well, I know for me, as a fact, I could always work harder to push towards that. Have I pictured it? Yeah. And I'd like to go on tour, go and do all these things.
Yeah.
But I know I definitely need to get some people behind me. And it'd be, because once I get, especially some percussion behind me, I've said before, if my hips aren't moving while I'm playing, something's not right. My hips gotta be moving and I gotta be in it or it ain't right. But I'd love nothing more than to just continue to go further and further.
You're just starting
And
out.
I'll say it again too, get the fuck out of this town. And I love this town, but I've been here my whole life,
Right. You need to experience other places and do other things. And you said you need to get a little bit more behind you. Elaborate what you mean by that. Do you mean you need support from other people helping you get there, or do you mean that experience? Elaborate.
I'm saying maybe I shouldn't, because it is difficult. I've talked to Stacy here that owns Memphis. She doesn't book solo artists. She does full bands.
Right.
It's harder to get booked if you don't have more people behind. Yeah. And it makes sense,
Right.
It's harder to get people to pay attention.
You're
But
just up there by yourself, yeah.
sometimes I can get and I get stage fright, kinda. If I get up on a mic, I get stage fright. But if I'm in the right mood, I'm not ever scared. And I forget that I can just act me. That's what people want, just act.
Just be natural.
Yeah.
Be you.
Just be.
Right. So, because I feel several times in our conversation, you've been a little bit reserved. You felt I don't need to expound on this. Is that because you feel, is that just who you are as a person, or do you feel it's because you don't want people to do you feel that's how it is? Do you feel it's kind of cutthroat,
I suppose so. Although I'm sure people wouldn't bat an eye to diss on me, that's just not how I am.
It's just who you're not at your core.
Right.
I wouldn't respect that.
I try my hardest. There's no one that I hate. Love everybody.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
I shave my legs, okay?
She said I shaved my legs.
Okay. No, I did get there a time when I didn't.
Say it
I
would
just
be
did.
you know what I like about you though, I'll be honest though, because I feel there's a lot of people who play that let me be careful. I'm going to be the shit talker.
Do it.
You're not.
I
feel like there's a lot of people who buy it, who like project that hippie mentality. But but it's really just like an aesthetic to them. It's an outfit choice. It's I smoke weed and talk about the stars sometimes, you know, and I wear, you know, bell bottoms or whatever. But like I feel like you absolutely 100% like it's a state of mind for you. Like it's not an aesthetic.
Thank you.
I feel like you give that vibe off.
Thank you.
100%.
Can't you see I'm falling? God like you should wear a warning. It's dangerous. I'm falling. No escape. I can't wait. Need a hit. Baby, give me it. You're dangerous. I'm loving it. Too high, I can't come down. Losing my head, spin around and round. Do you feel me now? Getting late to give you up. Took a sip from my devil's cup. Slowly it's taking over me. Too high, I can't come down. Losing my head, spin around and round. Do you feel me now? On a ride, you're toxic, I'm slipping under with the taste of your poison. Paradise, I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? And I love what you do. Don't you know that you're toxic? Intoxicate me now, with your loving now. I think I'm ready now, I think I'm ready now. Intoxicate me now, with your loving now. I think I'm ready now, ooh, I think I'm ready now. Britney Spears. Thank you.